Hey, hey, Don's got a mug. Oh, naughty word. I've got a Jewish man on my mug. The owner of the Mets, Steve Cohen. Joe Sonnenblick. In the dark, lights off. Yeah.
As we all know, we're in the second week of January Jumble. Pick a decade, place, a genre and a subgenre out of a hat. And then we did some Googles and found some movies. And this one was 1960s France, dark comedy, dark comedy.
Mm-hmm.
So we have here Weekend by
Jean Luc Godard.
Jean Luc Don't Like Jews.
Oh boy. Oh boy. I felt like I was goose stepping throughout this whole movie over here. I was waiting. I was just waiting for Hitler to come out. Go, gotcha.
This was rough.
Yeah, it's tough.
The irony of it is that you were pumping up this guy so much.
Well, no, I love no.
I watched the movie.
Look,
I was like, wait a minute.
I love Godard. I do. I mean,
so confusing.
I love Godard.
With somebody outside of the show conversations we've had, I was like, this don't even add up. How does he love this guy so much?
Because I can generally separate the artist from the thing.
Well, good for you. You're white. You can do shit like that.
Jewish. No.
Okay.
I don't. We talked about that. I don't.
Yeah, can't do it.
Can't do it. I don't listen to Bill Cosby either.
I mean, it was never.
I've never loved it. Yeah, I never loved it.
Anyway, I don't really give a shit. I didn't lose anything by not looking at it. But like Michael Jackson was somebody.
I didn't love it.
I didn't. I mean, no, but it's
not my.
I was never a MJ stan, so it's like.
Yeah.
If it does come on, it's not me playing it. It's like the club or the bar or the lounge that I'm in.
Well, how about now, Don? Do you still believe in string theory by Stephen Hawking or what?
It's a good theory.
I don't know where he came up with that. Little black holes, Don. Little black holes.
Very tiny step ladders and
whore, bitch, whore.
You can't do that.
That's David Cross. That's not me. That's his bit. That's his old bit.
You can't do it, man. You can't do that, man.
You can, and it's funny.
Oh man, just because he turns out to potentially be a very problematic creep, you can't just.
You can.
That's not a green light, man.
I'll take it. It's yellow. I rolled through it. I rolled a little bit through it.
Okay, 1967's
Yeah.
By Jean Luc Godard.
Mm-hmm. Godard. Which translates to Jew pig in French.
Oh my God, that big scene at the end. Eating the duck. I was like, what is going on?
I was not ready.
There was not a Jew nor a Peter member on this fucking film's lot at any point in time.
Well, definitely not. There's pork being served.
Oh my goodness. Anyway,
yeah, go ahead.
1967.
Yeah. 1967. This movie.
Who is this film starring? Who are the leads in this film?
It's only. I mean, I really only wrote down the two leads. Corinne was played by Muriel Dark, and Roland was played by Jean Yannet or Jan. I'm not sure. There's no accent, so.
Right. Yeah. They were good. They were good.
Very good.
Very good.
Very good.
I guess everybody that was in this film was good, man. It was just.
It felt again. I couldn't find.
This is top 3 most bizarre films we've watched so far.
Yeah, this is probably number 1. This is probably number 1. I mean, because you didn't watch House, I would put House at number 2, but it
didn't bring it up.
It also just wasn't good. But yeah, this was different, very different. And I asked Don before we started had he watched any Godard, and he said,
Possibly nothing
yeah.
recollected, but it's
So
like I know the name, and I've watched different films like French 1960s.
yeah, the pacing of this was very Godard. It was super, like no time to breathe.
I see a lot of Godard influence in Wes Anderson
Oh,
films.
it's all over this review I got here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I was like, oh, that's where that comes from. I got it. And
Yeah.
you even see, no, you don't know this guy, but a friend of mine named Suede. He's a graphic artist and
Mm.
a rapper. He's an all-around artist. He has done a couple different montage things on his own. Promoted his music as such. And I was like, oh, that's where he got it from. He's like in between title things and stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that because I thought it looked familiar, but I couldn't put my finger on it. And I was like, oh, okay.
Well, one of the movies that myself and Jake, who you know, made called Rat Pack, is totally influenced by Jean Luc Godard.
Yeah.
Like it's just all like we ripped off Jean Luc Godard. That's what we did. And there's a reason you rip off somebody like this is because they are so influential. It's you never saw shit like this before this guy. Just not, it's in the lexicon of film now. And yeah, what you said about Wes Anderson and you could really put it to Pedro Almodovar. You could put it to Scorsese. There's so much the rich colors in this film. Lars von Trier, everybody is Jean Luc Godard because there's a reason why I think AFI voted him like the top 5 director of all time, a top 5 director of all time.
I mean, like I said, I've seen this film so far, but I'm definitely gonna go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, go ahead.
1967. Let's see what was on and popping. Let's see. We had in February 25,000 U.S. and South Vietnamese troops launched Operation Junction City against the Viet Cong,
Woo
largest
woo.
U.S. airborne assault since World
Ooh.
War II. April, Vietnam War. American General William Westmoreland says in a news conference that the enemy had gained support in the United States. That gives him hope that he can win politically, that which he cannot win militarily.
Mm.
The enemy had gained support in the United States.
Does that sound familiar to you?
It does.
Yeah, it's in this film.
Yeah, right? Thought it was. Anyway, June, Six-Day War begins between Israel and the neighboring Arab states of Egypt, Jordan, and Syria. July. I wonder how Godot felt about that.
Yeah.
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 July 6th,
Uh-huh.
Nigerian civil war erupts as Nigerian forces invade the secessionist state of Biafra.
That's in here as well.
Yeah. Was it? I don't remember that being in there.
He talked about, I think, Nigeria
We spoke about the Congo.
and Congo. Nigeria, Congo, and Ethiopia, I think, was in there.
Definitely spoke about Ethiopia. November 28th, first radio pulsars detected by British postgraduate Jocelyn Bell Bernard, her supervisor Anthony Hewish at Cambridge University. December, first human heart transplant performed in South Africa by Dr. Christian Bernard on Louis Washkansky.
Louis.
So, this is I guess, all right, so so there's more events, obviously. 67 was a pretty, one of those years, late 60s. So, and this is obviously a little bit more on the global scale. There was a lot of civil rights things going on in the 60s, obviously. As we
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But this website is truncated, to say the least. So, 1967 in film and TV. First global satellite television program, Our World, broadcasts features 19 acts representing 19 nations, including the Beatles singing All You Need Is Love. That sounds fun. Newlywed Game premieres in the U.S. on ABC.
That was fun.
Bonnie and Clyde.
Great
crime
film.
directed by Arthur Penn and starring Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway is released.
Great. That's something we should review. That's a great film.
final TV episode of The Fugitive starring David Jansen, watched by 78 million people.
That's well, those numbers are skewed because there were like 3 channels. You know, whenever I see like MASH was watched by 120 million people, what the fuck else were you doing?
December 11th, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, directed by Stanley Kramer, starring Spencer Tracy, Sidney Poitier, and Katharine Hepburn, premieres in New York City.
Another great movie.
December 16th, Playtime, French film directed by Jacques Tati, starring himself.
Jacques Tati. Yep.
Music. March, first time Jimi Hendrix burns his guitar and his fingers at Finsbury Park Astoria Theatre in London. That guitar sold at auction for nearly $500,000.
Motherfuckers buying burnt guitars.
Currently a church. Aretha Franklin released her single Respect, written by Otis Redding, Billboard's Song of the Year in 1967. May 12th, Track Records released Are You Experience album by Jimi Hendrix. Experience, one of the most influential debut albums ever.
It's fine. Band of Gypsies was better when he had, oh my God, a famous black drummer, and I can't remember his name. I just went like this. I guess that's fair.
I don't know where you're about to
I went like this. I guess that's fair. I can't remember his name. Jimmy Cliff? That doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound right.
EMI Rush releases the Beatles album Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band in London and select markets in the UK. Yada yada. Sgt. Pepper's goes number 1. Yada yada. November 27th, Beatles released their album Magical Mystery Tour. Yada yada. 1967 in sports. New York Yankee Mickey Mantle hit career home run number 500 of Baltimore Orioles Stu Miller. Okay,
Packers won the first Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'm not on that site. I was trying to look for that. I gotta save these things, I guess. Like,
well,
ones that have that type of shit on it.
Well, because Super Bowl III was 69, and that was the Jets and Colts. Packers won the first Super Bowl.
This is just showing me like now some random white people who were born in 1967. I know none of these people.
Cool. You went to anti-blackwebsite.gov.
onthisday.com.
Okay. I know on this day.
You know who that is?
No.
Okay. Willem Alexander.
No.
He looks like he's probably king of one of those small white countries.
Wilhelm was got an H in it?
No. Willem dash Alexander. He
might be the Netherlands.
Yeah, one of them. He looks like one of those. Yeah.
Might be the Netherlands.
Satya Nadella, Mark Root, and Gavin Newsom.
I know who Gavin Newsom is
because he looks like American Psycho.
He's the governor of California.
He's creepy.
He's more than creepy.
He creeps me out.
He's creepy. Listen to him talk.
Born in 1967. Hold on. Let's start with athletes born in 1967.
Go now.
Sanders.
D.
Riddick Bowe.
Rid.
Stephane Charbonnier.
Steffi.
Thomas Mustard.
Tomo.
Boris Becker.
I know who Boris Becker is. I mean, I know who all these guys are.
Michael Moorer.
Great fighter.
Musicians. Vanilla Ice.
Whoa, Robbie.
Faith Hill.
Uh,
Dave Matthews.
Oh, God.
Tim McGraw.
Wow.
Kurt Cobain.
That's a good one.
And Joe's favorite artist of all time.
Who is it? It's somebody not good, clearly. Who is it?
Robert Kelly.
Oh, wow. R. Kelly's 56?
Yeah.
Wow, he took his first piss that year.
And they have Faith Hill and Tim McGraw again into the list of actors born in 1967. Seems a little lazy on their part to use two people. Like, okay, acting, kind of.
Well, they're married too, aren't they?
I believe so. But like, why put them in two lists?
They probably made like a concert movie or something.
But it's lazy.
Okay, it's lazy. I mean, what website? I mean, you want to write the governor? What do you want to do?
Do something. Nicole Kidman.
Ugh.
Jason Statham.
He's okay.
He's cool. He does his job. Julia Roberts. And then somebody else. Who would you guess was born in 1967?
Robert Downey Jr.
Wrong. Well,
Oh.
maybe I don't know. He's not. It's not. It's not one of the 6 people I'm looking at.
Tommy Cruise.
You almost said it.
Tom.
Nope.
Cruise.
No.
Tommy.
You almost said it right before Tommy Cruise, but you stopped yourself for some reason.
I did?
Yeah.
What did I almost say?
Philip Seymour Hoffman, 1967.
The God. The God.
God MC.
God was born.
Interesting Snapple fact, also didn't care for Jews. Joe likes a lot of people who do not like him.
Philip Seymour Hoffman didn't like Jews?
I don't know. I made that up.
Oh, that's tough. Why make that up about him? God, he had so many demons. Why make that up about him? That's not nice.
The Hulk just came out of your eyes. Oh, no.
No, yeah, I know. I don't want him to hate Jews.
Come on, guys. What are we doing here? Oh, okay. Here goes some of these things.
Okay.
Is that accurate? Oh. Was the AFL and the NFL still separate at this time?
Yeah.
Okay.
The merger didn't happen till 68, I believe, or 69. Okay.
So Kansas City Chiefs beat Buffalo Bills 31-7.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Canadian amateur. I don't care about that. Yada yada yada. Let's go. NFL championship, Cotton Bowl. NFL championship.
Cotton.
What? Cotton Bowl.
That's college football.
College, right? Yeah. So I don't know why they put it next to each other like that. Their structure is strange. Green Bay Packers beat Dallas Cowboys 34-27.
Mm-hmm.
Orange Bowl, Sugar Bowl, Rose Bowl, those all happened.
I don't care about those.
The Tonight Show is short. Who cares? Who cares?
Just great content coming your way, folks.
Nobody cares. I don't care.
He doesn't care. Doesn't care. Well, get to movies. Get to the movies.
The Monkeys. January 9th. That's the one.
I mean, that could be racist. Depending on who's saying it.
You.
No, I didn't say it.
You did. Draft board refuses Ali exemption. That's
Ali?
Yeah, Muhammad Ali. The draft board, Kentucky draft board refused exemption for boxer Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
Yep. That was then.
This is now.
Who else? Sonny and Cher released Beat Goes On. Cool. Wow, this is just really okay. That's enough. Movies. 1967.
Well, clearly Bonnie and Clyde.
It's up there. Let's see. This website is showing me everything North America, U.S. and Canada. So we're not going to see WeekEnd.
Okay, I don't think you're going to see it on many, though.
Well, yeah, I guess not. The worst movie of 1967, or at least at the bottom of this list, at number 35. Apparently, there were 35 movies.
There's more. We know that.
Of course. Was a movie called Double Trouble.
Is that? It's a kids movie.
I don't fucking know, bro. No idea. It's
I mean,
not really giving me much either. Oh, Elvis Presley.
Oh, not a kids movie, but just probably still bad.
Elvis Presley, Guy Lambert. Yeah, it's not giving me much.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was the worst. Made come on, you cocksucker. Go back to what I was doing.
It's rolling.
$1.6 million.
That feels like a lot of money in 1967, but that's okay.
That was the gross, yeah.
That feels like a lot of money.
A lot of money. So, what else came out that year that is notable? Some titles that I recognize, but I'm not sure if I saw. Fistful of Dollars.
Great movie.
El Dorado.
Never saw it.
The Comedians.
Never saw it.
The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
One of my favorite films.
1,000,000 Years BC.
Never saw it.
Dr. Dolittle.
No, never saw it.
Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Okay, whatever.
I hate joy. What do we have here? Hombre.
Great movie that you didn't want to watch.
Wasn't that the one that was like had
Yeah, Paul Newman.
in it?
Yeah, but Paul Newman's not putting on red face. He's not.
Yeah, but everybody else is. The fuck am I watch that for Native American month?
Okay, we can just watch it for
just as Native American.
when we have a Western month. That should be on the list.
When we have a white supremacy month, that'll be on the list.
Okay, I had many jokes there. There's so many jokes.
Every month,
yes.
Every month.
All right, so next month watch. Well, no, it's not next month.
Oh, is that what we're gonna do? We're gonna watch white supremacy.
We should watch white only movies.
Oh yeah,
that's funny. Come on, that's funny.
Great.
That's funny.
Cool Hand Luke.
Great film. Another Paul Newman film. Great film.
Casino Royale.
Never saw it.
Is that
James Bond?
It is James Bond. Why is it listed as a comedy?
Oh, maybe it's not the James Bond one then. Who's in it? It's gotta be.
Yeah, James Bond.
Yeah.
James Bond. Okay. I guess. I mean, yeah.
I never laughed.
I don't see why that would be understood as a comedy. Camelot.
Never saw it.
You weren't into these guys? Excuse me. Isn't this Monty Python?
No.
No, it's not.
No. That's Spamalot.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. To Serve with Love. That's one of my grandmother's favorite movies of all time. I've watched it with her many times.
It's a little slow. But it's good.
Sure. You Only Live Twice.
Don't like James Bond. Don't care.
2 James Bond movies in 1 year.
Yeah, that's how easily they're produced.
Yeah. The Dirty Dozen.
It's okay.
And we're gonna do the top 5.
Mm-hmm.
At number 1, The Graduate.
Amazing film.
Number 2, The Jungle Book.
It's okay.
This is the animated one.
No. It's not.
1967.
Yeah.
Walt Disney.
Yeah.
Musical.
I think it's the animated one.
That was a live action one?
Yeah. For sure.
I have no recollection of this. Really?
Yes.
Animation.
Animation. Then I'm wrong. There was totally a live action one though.
Yeah, but that was in the 90s.
No, that was in the 40s.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm pretty sure you're right, but I didn't watch that.
Yeah, I know.
Number 3, Gone with the Wind.
That's not possible. That movie came out in 1939.
I don't know what I'm gonna tell you, bro. It's there. They made a lot of money. $198 million apparently. I don't know about that year.
I don't know what this is. This list is then.
Gone with the Wind, 1939. It does. Domestic releases. You had several, obviously, from 39, 41, 42, 47, 50.
Wow, they were really
milking it.
They're really milking that fucking piece of shit. That movie sucks, man.
They released it all the way to 98, basically.
That movie sucks.
Oh no, all the way to 2019. Sorry, that was the last time it got re-released.
Sucks.
Yep. That was number 3. Gone with the Wind.
Okay.
Coming to Dinner was number 4.
Very good movie.
Bonnie and Clyde, number 5.
I don't know how that's number 5. That should be number 1. That's probably. I think that's better than The Graduate. That's a great film. Bonnie and Clyde. No, they don't. Clearly, that's why I'm here talking to you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you suck.
Thank you.
Let's get into this.
Hey, we did this in under 30 minutes. That's pretty solid.
Look at us.
Okay, so Weekend, 1967. The synopsis: a surreal tale of a married couple.
This synopsis should be.
Yeah.
Fucking nuts.
A surreal tale of a married couple going on a road trip to visit the wife's parents with the intention of killing them for the inheritance. okay, that was a movie that could have happened.
Was.
Definitely could have been that, but I don't know if it was that. Trivia. So this is a really cool piece of trivia. The tracking shot of the traffic jam was the longest tracking shot in the history of cinema at that point.
Had to be, because I was like, this is
Insane.
It went to a point where, like, all right, I'm agitated.
Then you're in awe of it.
I'm reinterested. I'm agitated. Now I need to see this. This could be the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
I would have been like, okay.
I was in awe of it. I couldn't believe, like,
is this for real?
Also, you have to do that numerous times, don't you? You can't just do it once.
Not a one shot.
No way. And it
kind of felt like it was, because there's plenty of times where you could see the scene cuts, the actual film cuts.
It measured 300 meters, so let's do that. 300 meters into feet. 984 feet. That is crazy.
What is that, like? How many football fields?
Well, 1 yard equals 3 feet equals a yard. So 300.
There's 3 football fields.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Well, 300. Let's do it. 300 meters to yards. 328. Yeah, 3 football fields. That is something else. Premiere.
Slowly, not like.
No.
It was crawling.
It was, yeah. Premiere voted this movie as one of the 25 most dangerous movies to ever be made. I guess from contextually.
Contextually? Not just, I don't, like, because of the explosions.
No. Contextually, and just what they were talking about.
Okay.
Godard's last film before converting to Marxism Leninism. No kidding. no shit. He likes communists, huh? Okay, so the film, a film adrift in the cosmos is how this starts. A film found in a dump. I like that a lot. That was really cool. The words on the screen were so cool. I don't know how he did it.
A million quotables in this film.
Yeah. A very morbid opening sequence with Corinne saying it would be nice to die like those 7 people did and in the explosion. Which is interesting because that foreshadows the entire film. I mean, there's way more than 7 people dead in this film, Don. It's like 7 people the first minute dead in this film. Corinne cheating on Roland with Roland's friend, which is actually a movie I'd like to see. You know?
That's what I'm saying. Like, the beginning of this film,
that was the only cinematic.
Where it actually ended up is so far.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Well, you know what it almost felt like? I mean, as we get, we're only like 2 seconds into the movie, but as we get further, it felt like punishment for them.
I mean, but that was for the characters, for the actors.
The characters.
Well, yeah, for sure.
Felt like a huge punishment. Yeah. Yes. A passerby gets into a fist fight with another couple after they almost hit cars right outside the house. And that balcony shot, beautiful. Beautiful. Because it's handheld, but it feels like it's stationary.
Yeah, gotta get a steady hand.
Whoever had that, I don't know if that's Godard, but whoever had that hand, super steady.
Those cameras weren't small.
They were fucking huge. Weren't small. They were huge. Corinne talking dirty the whole while not screwing this guy is even dirtier than screwing this guy. It was really heavy. And right before that, Roland talks about planning on knocking off Corinne after they kill her father. That's also really interesting too. And again, another movie that's heavy on darkness and shadow at the very beginning, which you couldn't see.
Which was pretty interesting. She was a silhouette.
Yeah, she was in bra and panties. Yeah. Again, heavy description in the dark of the scene between Monique, Paul, and Corinne. Describing the porn is much more visceral, and the other guy having to sit there and listen, and you don't know if he's getting off on it or being emasculated by it. It's super interesting, that dichotomy that Godard presents, because this should, like, he presents chivalry in a different way, and he presents sex in a different way. Usually it would be the man talking about sex, and this woman is dirty. This is a dirty little scene.
It's a
It's a role reversal.
It's an interesting line, I think, that she's walking of. At some points, you almost feel as though she's being victimized, but then it goes back on to
Wanting?
no, just nonchalant. More so just like another Tuesday almost. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. She says they wanted me to talk about it, so my sensation excited them. And it's exactly what she's doing now to Paul. And I just wrote, the French are fucking weird, bro. Sitting naked in cold dishes of milk and then licking pussies. That's different.
Cracking eggs.
Yeah, full of coming
people's bags.
Coming so hard that an egg breaks down your asshole. It's a real. That's a vision. And then he says, "Come, Corinne, work me up, bro. What has she been doing to you? What is she's been working you up, partner? Like, what else does she need to do? I mean, other than the fucking, that's what she needs to do." Corinne and Roland get in a shitty facel. There's a kid in a Native American headdress who makes fun of them. That was kind of a little funny scene, because they're the colonizers, right? He's the one that's been there. Did you feel that? You not feel that? It's the he's the person, because he's a kid. He doesn't know anything, right? He's just saying this to agitate them. But the native, it's like the native is the original, right? Did it feel that way to you?
I mean, as we see further on into the film, the Native Americans do come up quite often in colonizers. So I guess that was a foreshadowing.
Yeah.
In context, in the moment of the film, I didn't read into it too deeply.
Okay. After denting the bumper, he says, "Bumpers are meant to be bumped." That's a funny line. That's a good little line. And they're spraying her in her car with yellow paint. Was that yellow paint or mustard?
Hold on. I'm not. Oh, there it goes.
There you go.
Sound. Yeah. It was paint. It was like a spray.
It was a spray bottle.
Yeah, pump straight paint thing.
Okay, and the husband just comes out and just starts shooting at them with this musket, this old musket. So I took that as the native has the bow and arrow or the hatchet, and then this white guy comes out with an old school musket. Maybe the changing of time and weaponry. I don't know. I looked at them, That's what I thought. They just cut everyone off. They're self-serving assholes. And here it is. Here's the longest tracking shot ever.
They're self-serving assholes, but also, why was that taking so long at the same time? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think it's.
What do you mean?
Commentary on everybody just being complacent and just.
You mean the tracking shot itself?
I'm talking about all the people that were waiting
and stopped. Okay.
Nobody's doing nothing, and well, I don't call it a shortcut. I just what they were doing. It was just kind of like common sense. What the fuck are we doing here? Let's go.
Yeah, but before that, they were driving pretty. They hit a guy's car in the parking lot.
They drive like madmen.
Yeah. Two guys playing cards in traffic, throwing a beach ball, an overturned car, kids playing on the side of the road. Very Godard. Something must be happening in every frame of everything. Lions, a monkey, a llama. And then I wrote, you can see where Wes Anderson gets a lot. And I mean a lot of this style, just from this one long tracking shot. It's all over the place. Godard also very influenced by Hitchcock, the title cards popping up. Everyone on the road is infinitely for themselves. They have been bumped by another car, a car facing the wrong way, plenty of accidents, a couple playing chess, which is, I guess, maybe a divorce thing. A sign reading, I'm going to butcher this, La Vielle Auberge, which is the Hotel Auberge next to this little dumpy side of the road outhouse, is funny. That's an actual hotel on the Boulevard Saint Michel, which was this ornate hotel. I don't know if it's still there, but it was this ornate hotel. I guess that was like a bourgeois hotel, and he was making fun of it by having it next to that little outhouse. Two guys playing backgammon, a sailboat hooked up to a car, a guy clearly taking a piss, a car broke.
Two instances of an old man tossing a ball to a child in the car in front of him.
Okay.
You had that same scene, not the same scene.
No, I know what you're saying.
Same thing twice.
Yeah.
There was wasn't there a band playing music or some shit? Wasn't there some people playing music?
Yes. And then a deadly accident is what has been holding these people up, and all the frivolity and the comedy leads to a bloody, deadly accident. And you think, okay, wow, maybe that's the only time I'm going to see that. No, that is not the only time you're going to see that.
France is made up of 35% dead bodies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everywhere. I'm like, wait a minute. Did I miss something? Did somebody say this was a post-apocalyptic film at some point?
Well, wasn't that part of our January Jumble? Wasn't there like something like that? It was just dark comedy.
Dark comedy, yeah.
Well, we hit the nail on the head with this one. Roland immediately combing his hair, and then Corinne doing the same, talking about her dying father, shows their vanity. Everything about Godard's style, showing the class struggle between the villagers, and these are actual villagers. You can tell that some of these people couldn't hold a straight face to the camera. They didn't want to look at the camera. But they're all very proud to be of this village, right? And using the class struggle between the villagers and the tourists using their towns is so fucking cool. It's so singular. Like, I never saw a filmmaker do that before. That wasn't like that. These framed close-up shots of the face. Beautiful. This guy is laying dead.
When you think about it, obviously, I guess it's obvious.
Yeah.
You don't think too hard about it, but you could even see these influences on Spike Lee's work.
Oh yeah.
In those tight.
I was also going to say Jordan Peele.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like that one scene in Get Out where he's sitting in the framing of faces in Jordan Peele's work, super Godard. You can also see he used non-actors. These are non-actors. The guy's laying dead in the car and she's arguing on his behalf. I found that very funny. After the dump truck hits the tractor hits the car.
Yeah. That was a very wild argument. The lines because to show the ignorance of the upper class people and how disgusting and foul they speak. She was just shitting on his
the town, the job,
the way he lives, and
the way he looks.
Because I was able to fuck this person, and I was able to fuck that person. You're mad because you'll never be me. It was wild.
Would you say that's peak gentrifier?
Oof. Is that what's going on there?
That's what it felt like to me.
I think because when you look at some of these scenes, there's no civilization to be found as far as the eye could see.
Right.
So this is like a very strange crossing paths of these classes, Well, but obviously the tractor trailer guy and the farmers and the villagers,
they live there.
But what the fuck? Why are these other people there in the middle of fucking nowhere?
Well, he's the tractor worker says, you come here to ski our slopes and take from us and eat in our restaurants, but you don't understand, which is gentrification, isn't it? It's at least that's the way it felt to me. And then he says, we're all brothers, like Marx said. Just wow, here's communism. And then right after that, Jews, dirty Jews, both of you, huh, Don? What? I came out of nowhere.
Well, what's funny? So, to put more context on it, not that there was very much context.
I don't really need it.
To describe that scene, the main characters, who I forget their names,
Corinne and Roland.
they were pretty much watching this
Yeah.
altercation between the farmer, and the gentrifier, young lady, and they were arguing back and forth, and then who they both rolled up on the main characters and
Mm-hmm.
were asking them to be witnesses.
And they were like, "No, we got to go.
They're like, nah,
I'm not into that."
So as the main characters sped off to get away from the accident scene, that's when the farmer and the woman, actually, they both were like, "You Jews, you dirty."
Yeah,
Jews.
and they embrace each other.
Break each
Yes,
other. Their arms are-
right.
like,
We are.
have class problems.
You're Jews. You're Jews, and that's how. And
Yeah.
and it's funny because it's almost like people can embrace each other and get behind the hate of Jews. It's like, hey,
Holy moly,
boy, I
now, okay, so here's the thing, right?
wonder where you see that today.
Is this supposed to be him saying I don't like Jews, or is this him actually advocating for Jews and be like, look, look all the shit that the Jews get from every class?
There's too much. There's too much in this movie for me to go.
But
He's advocating.
For the irony of it, though, because then, fast forwarding a little bit, then they had the sole black actor of this movie, and he's talking.
Well, don't fast forward. Don't fast forward.
I'm just saying, like, how can you have both of those at the same time? It's just
because he was apparently Godard became a Marxist and a Leninist, and those two guys hated Jews.
I never read into it too much. I know the names.
Well, when you think of money, and you think of the personification of money at that, I mean, people still think that. What do you think about? Generally, you think about Jews. That's just how that stereotype works. Even Shakespeare, Merchant of Venice, the Shylock was a Jew.
Right.
It's 5,000 years. I don't know how else to explain. 5,000 years. What want me to do? This is a great line when she's in the car and referring back to the Marx line. Another communist said it. Jesus said it. What a line that is, boy. But I mean, that is subversive. At this time, to call Jesus a communist is fucking subversive. Super subversive. Everyone is beating them up from 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock.
This is a wild scene. It's just
hair pulling, and
it's very. They're back into another traffic jam.
Yeah,
where there's just violence abound, and it's like you said, it's hair pulling, it's teeth, it's biting of the hands.
And I gotta say,
it's like scene close.
Yeah,
scene close.
Yeah.
It's rapid.
And I really felt a callback to De Sica here. I'm sure Godard liked De Sica. They were contemporaries of each other as well. I mean, Godard maybe came a little bit later, but De Sica's violence, as we saw in Bicycle Thieves, it's pretty close. There's a fast movement.
I think that's just a
European style.
Right. There is a very rapid understanding of violence, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
It's boom, 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 smack. You think about Three Stooges, Abbott and Costello, like all those old, like violence was always combos. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't something that's like punch you in the face and then then punch you in the face again. It was. And let me tell you something.
Yeah, right. Well, let me tell you something. Yeah. I'll tell you.
Actually threw a fucking elbow.
Yeah.
Somebody did an elbow drop in the
Yeah. That was funny. No, but
the female lead, she did that to somebody in the movie. She went
boom. Yeah, she dropped it on somebody. I saw that.
Dusty Rose elbow drop on somebody's neck.
So and then there's like moments right after they're being beaten up where Corinne and Roland just absolutely contradict each other at all times. They have to get the last word in to each other because their marriage is falling apart, and clearly because somebody wants to kill somebody.
Somebody was to kill somebody and then kill somebody.
Yeah. They've been taken hostage by two motorists who were just in an accident, and they turn them around because they want to go to London, and then they like, let's go to Miami. It's so interesting, that dichotomy. And I wrote, this is more fantastical than neo-realist. So much whimsy whilst telling the struggle between people that are supposed to know each other while navigating the outside world, the bourgeoisie and the proletariat. And of course, everything that happens in the outside world. And the Exterminating Angel, great name. Is that Loki? I don't know. I'm not up on my Bible. Is that Loki?
Loki is Viking lord. That's not.
No, there was an angel named Loki.
No.
No?
Oh, talking about Lochi.
Who was the angel that protected Earth?
We could find that out right now. Angel that. What do you mean? They all did.
No, but there was one that was Loki, angel of death. Loki was the former angel of death, and Bartleby or Grigori, a fallen angel, talked him into quitting his position, which got them banned from heaven.
Angel of Earth is Uriel. Uriel.
So then, but
North end of Earth.
Well,
I don't.
it's it's a lot. Let me just look. I want to look up what the I didn't do this. I should have.
Loki.
Yeah.
How do you spell it? Like I spelled it, or was it Loki?
Loki.
That's wrong.
Okay.
I didn't even know there was a.
Okay, so how about this? There's a Louis Buñuel movie called The Exterminating Angel that came out 5 years prior. I wonder if that was, they're friends. So I wonder if that was like a, to Louis Buñuel, calling it The Exterminating Angel. He said, yes, I'm God because I'm lazy. Great line. Another great line.
Then that guy just kept making things magically appear. He made a rabbit appear under the car.
And by the way, that rabbit died.
Yeah.
That rabbit totally did not like being thrown around like that and just said, okay, I gotta go.
Listen, I'm pretty sure that's the rabbit they skinned and cooked later on in the film.
How would you know? You don't even know. There's so many animals.
They're just murdering animals anyway.
It's true. It's true.
Might as well use it.
It's true. I'm here to. Yeah. There's another line after this. I'm here to inform the grammatical kind that we are in modern times and the beginning of flamboyance, especially in cinema. That is Godard telling his audience, this isn't the same Godard from 10 years ago. Because, he had Breathless and he had, this isn't that. This is something new that you're going to have to deal with. And then this being his final film before becoming a full-on Marxist, this is something you have to deal with. A rabbit under the dashboard. And I just wrote, boy, Godard really doesn't like Jews. just a lot here where I was like, oh, okay. And they dropped them off in a car graveyard. And then they're running through the sheep to find a way. And I guess that's them trying.
Here's the thing. Yeah. Also, remember the fantastical note of this now. This false messiah, or this guy is saying he's a god. He made those herd of sheep appear.
Yes.
They were in an empty field.
Yes.
And then he made them appear. It was.
Well, it's also the whimsy that he could be a magician.
You're right.
Because a rabbit making sheep appear, it could be just the magic of coincidence. It could be the magic of being a magician. It could be that he's God. I don't think he's God. Personally, that was how I felt about it. Because he keeps bad-mouthing God.
He's bad-mouthing their version of God.
Okay.
Which is what every single God has ever done to God before them.
Fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Oh, this
That's
fucking
fair.
asshole?
That's fair.
Golden cattle. Oh, fuck him. I'm the real God now, bitch.
That's fair. That's fair. Then they completely run this biker off the road. They're getting into duels with other cars.
Yeah, they ran that guy off the road for no reason.
No reason. I mean, I think he was dressed in a sporty sort of way. Maybe he was a tourist, so they ran him off the road. That's the way I felt about that. I don't know.
I feel like some things, obviously, the majority of this film had its own separate metaphor.
Do you think Godard was just like, try this?
You, Stunhead, have you done anything today?
Yeah.
Oh, get on this bike.
Try this. You got an orange sweater? But again, he was brightly colored in flatness, in flat color. You know, that was sort of cool. And then the screen splits, which was awesome, and everyone's on fire. And she starts screaming about her Hermes bag as opposed to anyone. That is, and that's the take on materialism, right? And then a French revolutionary, who I have to assume is Napoleon, follows them and reading from a book. I don't know what book it was, screaming at them. And I couldn't find what book he was reading from. Nobody, there was nothing I could do about that.
You didn't Google it?
I did. I didn't say. They come into the woods and find a singer in a yellow telephone booth who is singing about the disillusion of France and how it's a dog-eat-dog world. And Corinne tries to leave with the singer, shows she's desperate to leave the marriage, and then Roland tries to leave by himself after fighting the singer off. Did you find the book? Or were you just...
I was typing stuff to see if I could...
Yeah, I couldn't find it. I don't know.
We shouldn't use the word Napoleon because it's going to take me everywhere else.
Probably. More fiery cars and Roland asking the dead...
That guy, like a French soldier, I guess?
Yeah, I wrote revolutionary soldier. I don't know. More fiery cars, Roland asking the dead if they know of a garage anywhere. And then he has a great line. He goes, all these jerks are dead.
Yeah.
so
He's
funny.
talking to dead, literally kicking dead people. He's talking like dead people on the floor.
All these jerks. And that is to show, because you had Napoleon right before. So I think that's to show how the bourgeoisie, the ruling class sees the people of France. You know, all these jerks are dead. Yeah. What am I going to do? Two characters of what did I write here? I don't know. Two characters, a maiden and somebody else. It's supposed to be Miss Bronte, and I don't know if it's Emily or Charlotte. And I think the guy's supposed to be Lewis Carroll, if I'm not mistaken. And then a great line about the film where Roland says, what a rotten film. All we meet are crazy people. Great line. And that's Godard breaking.
Yeah, they're breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah.
Which they did throughout the entire movie.
But also Roland and Corinne are the rotten people.
Right.
Yeah. And so now we're seeing an obelisk and talking about how it is from another world. Bronte's now telling the story from Lewis Carroll's novel. What was that obelisk? Was it just a stone statuette? Was it a rock? I was confused.
In that thing. I would say at least... I was confused the majority of the time. This movie made me feel dumb as fuck.
Me too.
I felt like a fucking moron.
And I consider us both pretty good watchers of film.
And fairly decent,
intelligence.
Intelligence and, just understanding of certain historical context.
Right. And I don't know.
More than me, I would say. But I was just oblivious.
I was lost quite a bit. And my buddy...
Me, because, hey, that's not for an artist to spoon feed
anything. No.
If anything, it made me...
Appreciate it.
Want to do the research and want to go through this over. I mean, I don't know if I can go through it.
I'm not going to watch this again for a while.
That shit was rough.
What I'm saying, I always believe that watching film should be hard. I don't think it should ever be easy. That's why, I have the stance that I have against superhero and Marvel and stuff like that. I really do believe that those films are spoon-fed to people. I really do.
I haven't seen them, though.
Don, I watched Iron Man, okay? I watched the first Iron Man, and I did not... come on. Shit sucks. It's just not good, man. It's just not...
What are some... Because now it's been many, over 20-something films, maybe 30
sure.
Of Marvel films. Which ones have people told you...
that I would like?
Of reputable people, the people whose opinions you actually respect. Which ones come to mind? I don't know if you remember every single title, but...
Deadpool. People told me I'd like Deadpool.
It's pretty funny. I think you would like it. It's gory.
People said
like this movie reminded me of Deadpool because the character Deadpool, you don't follow comic books, but is a character that consistently breaks the fourth wall and is always speaking directly to the reader, and that's what was going on in here. There's a and not to go through it one more time.
Go
There
ahead,
is
go ahead.
a Deadpool movie coming out. It's gonna be featuring Hugh Jackman reprising his role as Wolverine.
Which is something else I have a problem with, bro. He's dead.
But that's the whole point of the movie is that there is in this new soccer that we're in Marvel, there's multiverse crossovers and like everything's fucked. But if anybody's character is able to make fun of this and utilize this multiversal tool, it's the Deadpool character and Ryan Reynolds brand of comedy.
Look,
But that's what this movie reminded me of for sure.
Look, I get why people read comic books, okay? It was never my thing, but I get why people read comic books. There were intertwining stories, intertwining multiverses, fine. Fine. And that's good for you solo, as far as I'm concerned. When you bring it to the masses, I feel like all it does, yes, it gets people to go to the theater, which is probably keeping cinema alive, personally. Fine. But those people are not going to go support good, honest film, I feel like.
Anyway, so who the fuck cares? They never were anyway.
Yeah. Look,
I think the same guy who's watching
Ant-Man.
I like most of the Marvel movies.
I know you do.
I know you do. I like Paul Rudd. He's a nice guy.
He's a Jew, and he hid that from everybody.
So did Robert Downey Jr. I didn't know that until his fucking documentary the other day.
You didn't know his father, Morton Downey Jr.? Come on, super Jew.
No, I had no idea.
Not his father. His uncle was Morton Downey. His father was Robert Downey Sr., who made very good experimental films.
Yeah. I looked up a couple of them. Like, really interesting stuff. Anyway, point being, I think there are a few Marvel films where you're going to see obvious references to Shakespeare and obvious references to older films that would make these films make sense. I.e., like I think the earlier ones you could kind of jumped in anywhere. I mean, some people feel that way. I don't. I feel like as like a comic book, you have to read previous issues to get the context.
Sure.
Otherwise, you're losing some shit. But Civil War was good. I think you would be into that one, and I think Black Panther was really well done. I think you would have been into that.
Oh, I saw Black Panther.
And
it's fine. Again, it just I can't.
Joe hates black film.
That's right. I don't know. I just can't. When you put on a latex suit, when you're fucking in front of a green screen, and I'm not saying, like, Chadwick Boseman was a great actor. 42 was great, and he was great in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Great, which used CGI effect for the 20s, of course. But I'm taken out of it immediately. It's just, I know this is fake. I know all movies are fake. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. Because that's a stupid person's argument.
It's not a stupid.
It is.
It's blatantly obvious.
But like, I just prefer a smaller scale, I guess. And I
like things based in actual reality.
I do.
You don't like sci-fi movies. You don't like fantasy movies.
No.
Those aren't your genres.
No.
So that has nothing to do with being real or fake. Is that you prefer a certain specified reality?
Well, so. And also, it also depends on the actor, too. Like, Mars Attacks is very good.
It's not.
You're wrong. Mars Attacks is very funny. It's very funny. Jack Nicholson was very funny in Mars Attacks. I enjoyed that very much. But, like, I'm not going to go, wow, Mars Attacks. Look, I'm not going to tell people. I'm not going to actively tell people I see men in suits in latex garments go whoosty. I'm not gonna do that. I don't know. It just it feels like a sacrilege to film, and I am not. I understand why the whole world, the whole crew of virgins that never touched grass were mad at Martin Scorsese and Francis Ford Coppola. I understand, because they called out the one thing that they like, that they can all bond at, when they're pushing up their glasses and they go, when they do all that shit at their nerd conventions. I understand. I do. It's the same way I feel if somebody told me they don't like Martin Scorsese. You're stupid.
He's overrated. I've told you that before. I think I like his stuff, but for the most part, he just does. He does. I was talking about that this morning. I was referring to Taxi again, to a friend of mine.
Taxi Driver. Don't say Taxi.
Taxi Driver, right? I said it's a film about white rage and what a white man can get away with no matter what. Because on the flip side of that, Taxi Driver, you wouldn't say had a bad ending, right? That was a happy ending for that crazy, crazy man.
No, I don't agree with that.
He murdered people and he didn't go to jail, and then he took a child bride.
Well, you also have to look at it. No, he didn't. What? He didn't fuck Iris.
He was gonna. We talked about this in that episode.
No, I still don't. It was weird, but I don't believe that he was. I also believe that, again, we're doing a different movie now. When he looks in the mirror, he has a
Taxi Driver.
Yeah. He has a flashback, and he can become that guy at any time. I don't think there is a happy ending for that character. He's an anti-hero.
Hero still in the thing. Conversely,
yeah,
this is fast forwarding to the 90s, right?
Yeah.
A film about so Taxi Driver is a film about a white man's PTSD.
Yes.
Vietnam, correct?
Yes.
Now, black man's
Dead Presidents.
Dead Presidents.
Great film.
Not a happy ending.
No.
Did not get away with doing whatever they fucking
wanted. No.
Because they suffer from PTSD.
No, but they also robbed banks. That's a large scale crime. Look, I get what you're saying.
What about murder? That's also a large scale crime.
But he killed.
Who's going to assassinate a presidential candidate?
Right, but he killed trash. He killed trash. So I also believe that New York in the 70s, if you killed trash, nobody gave a fuck. I really believe that.
Oh, that's obvious. Everybody knows that. Yeah.
So he killed a reputed mob boss. He killed a pimp. He killed trash. Other than the guy that was robbing the store, you don't know his situation. You don't know his situation. But he killed
the first person that he killed.
Yes.
We know that he obviously killed other people in Vietnam, but he's the first person he killed.
Yes.
In this film.
Yes.
Which was a
black man. And he was also worried that he didn't have a license for the gun. So there is.
What he was going to go to jail for, not having a license, not the murder part. It was not having a license.
Well, he would. I guess in the 70s in New York, I don't know what the self-defense laws were, but he probably would have gotten off. Loosey goosey. Yeah, I don't know what they were.
Anyway,
all right, get back. Yeah.
This fucking bizarro world.
Yeah. So where were we? All these jerks are dead. Lewis Carroll novel, and then they brought them to death. They didn't agree with what she was saying, so they burnt her to death. So that's.
We don't know if these were real characters or imaginary characters. They actually questioned that at some point. And the funny thing is, they said, what was it? Was it those two characters, or was it the main characters that said, "Are you in a film or are you in a book?"
Yes.
It was that.
Yes.
It was this part, right?
Yes. And how much of this?
And those two characters that were in the forest, these magical, fantastical characters, were reading things out of books. So those two were in a book. The main characters were in a movie.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, so I don't know if they're saying, if this is Godard saying, because burning books was a thing. Yeah. So I think. Yeah. Yeah. So now there's a slithering worm, and they're saying that they are and aren't the worm. The ignorance of the human is why the worm exists, which I don't understand that part personally. Because does that mean God? The ignorance of human is God? Are these godless people, these two people?
I mean, that was pretty evident. I I think he made that opinion pretty evident throughout the film that these two people are godless.
Yeah.
But also he kind of speaks disparagingly about the ideation of God in the first place. It definitely comes across as atheist. So I think he's just an nihilist at the end of the day. This guy is just fuck everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
So now Corinne notices the trousers on the dead person in another car accident, but doesn't notice the dead. And they steal all the clothes off the dead. And then this truck, to get them to stop, Roland is like, spread your legs.
Hmm.
So I think that's
Question: Is are we supposed to infer that all of these locals are being? I mean, all of these dead people are being killed by the locals and left on the roadside?
no, I
Because
don't
it
think
never
it's that.
explains why everybody's dead.
I just think it's car accidents. I mean, there was so in France, and I looked this up a little bit. I didn't go too far into it. France in the '60s, there was like a super rash of like bad driving and car accidents. And I don't. Did you drive over there or no?
No.
Did you see anything? You see any like these motherfuckers can't drive?
Uh, no, not really. It seems pretty normal.
I mean, I don't know, but in the mid '60s, late '60s, apparently there was just a lot of traffic accidents. But I don't know that that is the thing here. I don't know that that's the thing.
Hmm.
I, I mean, also like all these people are in. Some are in fancy cars, some are not in fancy cars. It could be like you are your car, maybe. Like I don't know. Um, so then
So many dead people,
there were
and
so
I
many dead
don't know
people.
why.
I also think this is uh, so I think I do this near the end of the review where I'm talking about World War II and how World War II really affected France in a very negative way. So this could be that. Like all the bodies are left from World War II, all the destruction. Because remember, we'll get to it. So we're focused on a younger couple now. No, so musical action. They get in this truck and they're taken to this town, and musical action. And the difference between modern music and classical music is explained, talking about the royalties Mozart would have received, but putting serious music in quotes to explain the task modern music actually is. um, Now we're focused on a younger couple who is actually enjoying the modern music or the sonata being played, and Corinne and Roland can't be bothered. They're like against the pole and sitting down, I believe, during this scene. Um,
Yeah, that was another long pan scene. They did a loop de loo around
yeah,
that
the whole
a couple
town.
times.
Yeah. The pianist excused himself for playing like a pig. His master is dead, and he could never play like him. And maybe that's a little critique on self judgment, thinking we'll never be good enough.
Yeah.
That. And now a week of 4 Thursdays, and they go past a bunch of Italian actors
Hold on,
in.
hold on, hold on.
Oh, go ahead.
I like the. I didn't write it down, but I banked on it that you would have. I liked the quote that he had about Mozart at the end of his monologue there, where he said that because somebody said, "Do you play Mozart?" or something like that, right? They
Yeah.
made a request, and he was like, "Mozart is too easy for children and too hard for the virtuosos."
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting.
That's
Something
cool.
along those lines. Yeah.
That's a cool little quote there. I like that a lot. Um, So they get out of the truck, and the truck driver tells them it's straight ahead. Roland jumps on Corinne's back in a reverse of chivalry. Um, then they go past a bunch of Italian actors in the co-production, and that has to be a shot of Fellini. All right, they didn't like each other, Godard and Fellini. That has to be a shot of Fellini. I don't know. Got a light? No. As he extinguishes the light into the grass that he says he doesn't have a light of. And then Corinne gets raped by that guy.
Yeah, that happened.
Um, and he does nothing to Roland does nothing to help, or he can't help, or maybe I don't I didn't understand that part. Did you? I don't know. Okay.
I
I don't know.
couldn't even. I couldn't even. fathom or fucking guess, dude.
Then another part I didn't understand. Would you rather be screwed by Mao or Johnson? And then he says, "Well, Johnson, of course." He says, "Drive on. He's a fascist." I didn't understand that.
I don't know.
I sorry, folks.
I'm dumb. This was a rough review, to say the least.
Yeah,
There's a lot of shit that's like, I don't know.
it's over a little over my head. Godard's heaven. He's having communistic tendencies, and as well as his brutal anti-Semitism. It's brutal here. Because he's there. There's a line: "Who struck first, Israel or the Egyptians?" The Egyptians, of course. Pathetic ignoramus drives off. They become the workers on the work truck as the workers eat their sandwiches, which is sort of interesting. A little role reversal there. And I'm trying to think of where I just saw that in a movie, and I can't remember, but that's okay. Was it Bicycle Thieves? Was there a role reversal in Bicycle Thieves at all? No, right? Maybe when they were eating at the restaurant.
Yeah, that's about it. They were eating someplace where they shouldn't have been, really.
Yeah. And then that piece corresponded to exactly how much the USA budgeted to the Congo. That was a really cool little. And then he says, "My black brother will speak for me." Talking about how the ideology of Nazism is crept.
So these two
Go ahead.
garbage men. One was a
Arab.
one was a Algerian,
Mm-hmm.
and one was I guess Congolese. I would assume.
Yeah, I would say Congolese.
Make the assumption. And they had these close-up shots on them while they ate their respective sandwiches.
Were they the same sandwich? I think they were.
Two separate sandwiches.
No, I'm saying was the because it looked like the. I mean, I know they were eating two separate sandwiches. The ingredients looked the same in each sandwich.
Maybe, I don't know.
Because that would show unity between them, that they're eating the same sandwich.
What I enjoyed about this scene, aside from the monologue being very interesting,
Very good, very good.
The close up on the Algerian man, they stood his
Picking of the
was
teeth.
he was narrating over the Algerian man eating the sandwich, talking about all the things that happened over there. With the I'm sure you wrote something. Go ahead.
I wrote talking about how the ideology of Nazism has crept back and how the Africans have been colonized and are ready to confront the French and English and South Africans.
Because Algeria,
French, colonized by the French, right?
Right.
Yeah. Not trusting the imperialists and how the Africans must arm themselves. I know there was a lot more, but there's just a general overview of it.
It was very much so a mouthful.
Yes, and I guess because they were eating the sandwiches, you could do that. But
Algerians are African. That's it's the continent of Africa.
Yeah, and then my Arab brother will speak for me. We will win. We will win our freedom.
I want to know. Go ahead, do your thing, and then at the end of it, I want to know if you noticed anything about this close-up scene that popped out to you with this. We're assuming he's Congolese.
We will win our freedom with not with nonviolence and pacifism. Blacks at war with America and its friends. We are fewer in number, working on strategy for the whites, destroy the telephone lines and airports and train rails, bloody acts of sabotage, talking about going town by town and destroying infrastructure as opposed to a giant war, which they will not win. I don't know that I saw what you saw.
I'm going to show it to you.
Okay. I mean, I saw, did his hair change?
No, his hair didn't change. That wasn't something that I paid attention to.
Okay.
But no, that wasn't it.
Okay.
Right now, because I remember.
Did you watch this on your phone again?
No.
Okay.
But the rest of it I finished.
Because this would be very hard to watch on a phone.
Okay. So, what do you notice about this gentleman in this scene? Anything?
Staring directly into the camera, and then moving, always chewing.
He is wearing the colors of the Pan-African flag.
Oh,
red and green.
I would not have noticed that.
So I thought that was pretty cool in that scene.
And for those listeners and viewers that don't understand Pan-Africa, you want to do that for us?
No.
Oh, come on.
I'm not explaining that to anybody. Figure it out.
All right. All right. I guess
You won't be spoon fed here. I wasn't spoon fed for this
it's
goddamn
true.
film.
It's true. We weren't
If
spoon.
the one thing that you have to Google is Pan Africa out of this
Google it
film, then
yourself.
you'll be
Yeah.
fine. You'll at
All
least
right.
get an answer.
It's
I'm
fine.
like,
It's fine.
anything that you Google about this fucking film, you will not get an
You
answer.
will not know.
This is a fuck you film if I've ever seen one.
Big fuck you film. Big, like, and I want to know what the people of France like, and
Fuck this viewer.
yeah, and like Godard at the time was he wasn't an underground director. He was a mainstream director in France, and then this comes out. I wonder what the reception was in France to this.
I mean, it had to have been of some type of.
There has to be negativity and uprising.
Well, maybe, but also it's obviously it's on fucking HBO Max Criterion.
Well,
So,
that's because Criterion made a deal with HBO Max.
yeah, but I'm just saying, like, it's a cherished film in history.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, all of Godard's films are in the Criterion Collection. That is not. It's just what it is. Yeah, even his later ones that are really bad are in the Criterion Collection. It's just what it is. All his stuff's going to go in there. But I guess I just want to know, like, what did people think when they walked out of it? Because some movies are revelatory.
It's mostly this, I'm sure. Like,
I wonder if there were people that like, oh yes, I understood it. Like, motherfucker, I bet you didn't.
I don't think I understood what. Okay,
The percentage of this movie, yeah.
we'll do a percentage, but I really want us to have some honest thought about this
Yeah.
at the end of the review. And I don't think we've ever done that criteria.
No. This is a new segment. How much of this did you get? What? Huh? Yeah, that's gonna be the name of the segment, huh? And then I wrote, he's really big on Ingalls here, who is Marx's like right hand man. Man moved from advanced slavery to primitive barbarism. Great line. Great line there. And now a black dog herds the sheep. You notice that? Yeah, black. So that sheep, that the magician or god or whatever was now being herded by a black dog. Corinne and Roland are America, taking and never giving, caring only about what they can see and not what came before or what's coming after. They're also being carried on the garbage truck of Earth, which I believe is supposed to be the West, the Western civilization, right? Yep. They're in Oinville now. Corinne in the bath and Roland reading to her. Maybe Lewis Carroll. Corinne's not listening, only focused on her own trivial revenge. Bargaining for the rabbit. When not getting the rabbit, they murder. They murder this old lady. It's a play on the state of the world that we will murder when we do not agree. Here we are. Planes and cars being set on fire. There's one plane is in the tree.
There was a lot of planes in the background of this movie.
Right. And I have to assume that's World War II. And what it did to France. That's what I felt.
It would be so loud at points that they would overpower the actual dialogue of the film.
Yeah. Planes and cars, yeah. Family picnic being interrupted by militant thugs. I think this is an allusion to the Weather Underground. They were an American leftist group in the 60s, and they would bomb like laboratories and clinics, and they would take people hostage. I wonder, that felt like...
The Underground was a Puerto Rican leftist group.
In the 60s, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Puerto Rican nationalist leftist group. Yeah.
Do you feel like that there's a coincidence here, maybe?
I didn't catch that one, so maybe.
This group meets it. Yeah. We'll get to the percentages we didn't catch.
You can tell me whatever, and it was like, yeah.
Yeah, I see. Yeah. This group meets in the woods, and they're sitting on tires and I think that's for them, like, they don't have a plan. And there's a lone drummer playing an experimental drum beat. Then he hands the sticks off to the revolutionary and takes the machine gun, proving that music is a revolutionary tool. Right? Is that how you felt?
Yes. Sorry, I looked at it.
Well, when he hands the drumsticks when the drummer hands the drumsticks and gets the machine gun back, music is a revolutionary tool? God damn it. Sure. God damn it. The cook and the forager come to the bodies of Roland and Corinne during the battleship Potemkin.
WeatherUnderground.com is just a
yeah. Don't go to that. Don't go to that. I did that. I made that mistake too. I was like, oh, they have a mailing address.
It's like a happy face sun on here.
Yeah, that's not them. During the battleship Potemkin bit, and now they crack an egg on Corinne in a callback to the sex scene at the beginning of the film. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. Godard banging the drum here of the problem with sexual freedom. The eggs being cracked are abortions, and the cold fish being put in the woman's vagina is any lover she takes. That's how I felt. All right, man. And then here it is. Wow, they really killed those animals, Don. That was brutal.
Pig in front of the camera, like they did that.
And brutal.
They already had cut off the head of that duck. They didn't put that on camera for whatever reason.
But brutal.
They smacked it in the head with a shovel first, right? The pig, and then they just cut its fucking throat.
Bro, that was brutal. That was, and look, I was not expect. I winced and moved around. I didn't know what was happening. And I guess that's the death of the ruling class. I don't know. That's the way I felt about that. Or could be anti-Semitism again. Jews don't eat pork. I don't know.
I don't think what I said earlier was factual about the weather underground in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, I don't think they were Puerto Ricans. I think they were Americans.
No, I'm right.
I think they were Puerto Ricans. They were definitely not Americans.
They were Americans, but now, because I'm like, there's a correlation.
Yeah, they were definitely Americans.
It was what you call it? It was an associated group. What do they call them? Puerto Rican terrorists. What the website is this?
You're on PuertoRicanTerrorism.gov. Okay, so now painter paints a woman and not a canvas. I thought that was kind of interesting. Using a woman as a canvas. I don't know what that's supposed to be.
I don't know,
bro. All these code names are films. Johnny Guitar.
The further you got into this film, the more
it didn't make sense.
I don't know, man.
Just let's go.
It just went everywhere.
All these code names are films that the poet is talking on the CB radio. Johnny Guitar, Battleship Potemkin. Poetry being read over the revolutionary drums. The poetry in question is that of wanting to know the earth better and trying to reconcile what man has done to the earth. And now the last shootout scene can be dissected in one of two ways. It's Godard's love of American shootouts and westerns, or it's also the rallying cry of the old guard not wanting change in France. Just a novel with an unhappy ending. That's a cool line. And the film ends with the revolutionary and Corinne eating a piece of meat. The revolutionary tells her it's a bit of pig with English tourists and some of your husband as well. And she exclaims, "I'll have more later, Ernest," as the credits roll. Okay, so I wrote super deep constructed film about the world, the geopolitical climate in France and Africa and America, the feelings on communism and Western advancement through a troubled couple who are falling behind. Godard is a master, though once again this film could have been 15 minutes shorter, and I don't... Well, Don, it was an hour and 45. That just feels long.
An hour and a half less confusing.
And I wrote, I don't know that I fully understand what I saw, but it's a very good film. I gave it a 3.9 out of 5.
Yeah, I was somewhere around there. I'm at, because I can't knock a film for me not understanding it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Still a good film.
But contextual-wise, humor-wise, I'm at like a 4.
You're at a 4? I couldn't give it a 4. I
like the way it was shot, and it was inspiring to me. There was things that were going through my mind as I was watching it that I was like, definitely gonna steal this. You just outright, and I'm not gonna be ashamed of it at all. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, I was into it. I think new category. How much of this film did I actually understand? I'm gonna go with 45%. I think I grasped 45% of this film.
I was gonna say 40.
Yeah, because if it's not the direct quotes or the direct naming of people,
I don't
I at
know.
least got the point
Yeah,
of most of these scenes. Some of these scenes, I had absolutely no idea what the fuck the point was.
I guess the visuals were harder to grasp than the language.
Right. Yeah,
The
I would agree.
visuals were like, well, what am I supposed like? As an informed film watcher, as I feel you are as well. I don't, and I don't rewind. That's just something I don't do. If I didn't catch it, I didn't catch it. I know,
So many
I know.
times.
If I didn't catch it, I'll catch it on the next one. But I was, you also have to pause because this is a foreign film. There's subtitles, so if you want to write something down, you have to
Yep.
pause. It's just not Godard's strongest. You know, and Eric, who is our friend who works for Filmmaker Magazine, he was very interested in us reviewing this film, and he said it's deliberately confrontational and inundated with intertextual threads and citations. He said, I love it, but I would not recommend it as a first Godard. He said it's also playing on many previous films. Definitely a filmography to be watched chronologically. Here he's in between Breathless and Alphaville, which are super narrative, and leaving narrative way behind would be Weekend. So I think that's a really succinct way of putting what we just tried to do. But he loves it. I like it. I love Godard, but I don't know. And I've seen both Breathless and Alphaville. Those are heads and tails better than this. Maybe I'm a narrative junkie, but I also like experimental film, and I don't know that this straddled either line well enough for me to go, this is a masterpiece, because it's not a masterpiece. It's good.
Yeah, you could. I think it wouldn't be absurd to say this is a master experimental film, because there's certain experimental films where you can see that they try too hard,
House.
or hack, really hacky.
House.
I didn't get that from this.
No.
That it was hacked. The mere fact that at no, and I guess maybe this could also be because we are people that, for the most part, have our egos in check.
Mm.
At no point, for the most part,
Right.
at no point did I go, "This is dumb."
No.
That doesn't make sense.
No.
It was more so, I'm dumb.
I don't know.
And this is making me feel dumber by the second.
I don't know. It's sort of like I got hit in the head with a dildo. I was just like, well, I don't know. I'm not quite sure.
So, with that being said,
I
I enjoyed it. I'm gonna try to do some research on it. I'm gonna give it another pass through.
well, I'm just not for a
anytime
while.
soon.
Yeah, I'm not for a
It's gonna be
while.
a little while. I gotta digest that.
Yeah.
But cinematography wise, I just like a lot of the choices. I like the majority of the choices that Godard made.
They're so singular.
Like, why?
They're so singular. Godard filmmaking is so singular. That you can always point out, like if you flip on something at 2 o'clock in the morning, you go, "Oh, this is a Jean Luc Godard movie." I can tell you know it. It's that way. Um, I I don't know that the visuals took away or they added. I don't know. Like I'm still like you digesting this. I'm confused by it. I'm intrigued by it, this is what
I think that's the biggest word.
right. This is what film should do to people. It should make them feel this way. Like if you don't understand something, that's fucking cool. Look it up, figure it out. And I did not, like I said, I didn't understand 60% of this film, I don't think. I don't know. It's
a lot of historical context. This is definitely you had to be there film.
Well, you couldn't be in. You couldn't like also like
You
he's
had to have been watching this film in 1967 to
well,
get and be in the know for a lot of the
yes and no. But I also feel like he's like going into Napoleon, and he's going into Lewis Carroll, and he's going into cannibalism, and he's going into sexual politics, going into Marx and Engels. You couldn't be everywhere at once. I think there were people in 1967 that walked out of this the same way we did.
But
Not everybody's a learned person.
no, but I do think that the majority of things that went over my head was their contemporary political discourse
In France.
of France. You know what I'm saying? Those are the things that went over my head because those are not things that I am learned on. Marxism, Lenin is not things that I am,
Mm, mm.
very caught up on. Napoleon stuff, cannibalism, all that other cool stuff. You want to go anything from that back? I got it. I get it. Cool. The big picture stuff I got is when he zoomed into the micro, is where I was like the microchasms of his political constructs of this film, where I was just like,
So I don't consider myself an expert on communism, an expert on Marxism or Leninism, honestly.
But you are an expert on
Jews.
He's a Jew spurt in
I'm
this
a
film.
I'm a Jew man. I just those were the parts that were heavy-handed to me, the communist stuff, and that's his ideology. It became his ideology. So of course you're gonna have a heavy hand with that if that's what you
Especially if
believe.
you have the power to wield that heavy hand, and you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
There's not a lot of people that were able to do that
Yeah.
and had the freedom to do that as he did.
Well, also the
This was,
talent.
like we said, this was an absolute fuck you, suck my dick movie.
Yeah. And I also think that you have to have the talent to pull this off. There's no, you can tell when somebody's faking the funk.
Yeah.
And this was not faking the funk in any way, shape, or form. And I don't, so, and also I believe a Mexican wrote this with him, um, but he's uncredited.
They had some references to
Mendoza?
Mexico in this film
Mendoza?
too.
Let me
That's
look,
interesting.
let me look this up. Director, cast, weekend. Hold on. Let me get there. So it was written by Julio Cortazar and Jean Luc Godard, but Julio Cortazar is uncredited and one of the most important Argentinian writers of all time.
Okay, I was about to say that's a white man's last name. That is that is not
Yeah,
a indigenous Mexican guy.
yeah.
I Google him and see what he looks like as a person.
He's a white guy.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to see what else he wrote that I would know. But it's funny because he's uncredited in he wrote Blow Up, which is Michelangelo Antonioni, his most famous film, and it's a short story called the Las Babas del Diablo, the Devil's Baby, I assume.
The
Um,
Babas? No, the Devil's Drink.
Devil's Drink. Okay. Um,
Oh no, the Devil's Babas is spit. Um, the Devil's spit. Let me make
and
sure.
Traffic Jam.
Babas, B-A-B-A.
Yeah, and Traffic Jam is Comencini. Wow, he wrote a lot of famous.
Babas, the Devil's Drool. Yeah,
Devil's
the Devil's
Drool.
Drool.
Okay. Apologize for saying baby because I'm a moron. I don't know. I don't know anything.
Baba, baby, whatever.
Works, but I don't know. I don't know what. Right. I don't know why you would not credit him. I mean, it seems like if you're a communist, Godard, you would credit this man.
Interesting. Maybe he was persona non grata back then. Maybe he's a
Maybe
fucking Nazi.
Argentinian. Maybe it's possible. So we're stupid
For now.
for now. Watch it. Watch it.
I would
I would recommend this. Yeah.
And to certain people, not to everybody. I wouldn't recommend it to dum dums. There's people that are. There's definitely people that come to the immediate forefront of my head. It was like I wouldn't even bring it up. For what?
Yeah.
What?
Well, it's funny because Jake, like I said, Jake likes Godard so much, and when I told him about this one, he was like, "Oh, I've never seen that," and then I said, "Well, watch it and tell me what you think." He wrote back, "Sucks," and I
I'll
was,
tell you one thing. This is one of the first films that we've watched since we've started this show where I didn't hear a disparaging word about black people or people of color, for that matter, aside from the obvious Jews.
well, Nosferatu didn't have that.
I mean, yeah, but nobody said anything in that film. It's a silent film, and it was.
Uh, Trapped in Paradise did not have that done.
They didn't have any racist jokes.
Nope. It was pretty family friendly, but just
That was pretty.
just a little.
It's a little. It didn't get crazy.
29th Street didn't have any either, did it?
29th Street.
I don't think it.
Yeah, the Puerto Ricans.
All right, all right.
He
It stabbed them.
immediately got
Stabbed them.
stabbed.
All right.
He got stabbed by Puerto Ricans.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Stay away from my sister.
Taxi driver, the obvious.
Well, one of the greatest. It's one of the greatest scenes in cinema, though. When Martin Scorsese says what he says, it's amazing. Come on.
So yeah, this is one of the first films that we've watched so far that it's like definitely aside. I would say aside from Pow Wow Highway, where it's definitely setting the fire to the white man and their crimes
Mm-hmm.
against humanity.
Which is our least viewed review, you racist.
That was a good movie. You guys need to
Yeah, you got to watch. Oh, I was so shocked how great that was.
You know what I watched the other day?
Porn.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And after I was finished with that and cleaned up,
yes,
there was we really gotta stop being so vulgar.
Why?
We're gonna make a note of that the other day.
Don't be vulgar.
Let's just chill the fuck out.
We're adults.
Having a negative influence to me. That was gross. I can't even let that come out of my mouth. It's gross. I apologize. Anyway, I watched some YouTube young lady, and she was talking about the magical Negroes, 3 instances of magical Negroes.
Trope, the trope.
In Stephen King book adaptation.
Oh wow! Well, yeah. Well, The Shining.
The Shining.
The Green Mile.
Green Mile.
Wait. Let me try to think of the last one. Wait. Let me try to think of.
I'm forgetting the name of the movie, so I'll tell you the person that's in it, and you'll remember. So it was The Shining, The Green Mile, and this film. I guess if you want to clue, that's kind of escaped me. I think it was in the 90s. Stephen King.
In the 90s.
I think it was pretty sure.
Oh! Shawshank Redemption. Is that Stephen King? It is.
I don't know, but that didn't come up. That wasn't one of the examples.
No.
The one with Whoopi Goldberg.
Gotta do better than that. Ghost? That's not Ghost.
That did come up as a magical Negro.
But that's not Stephen King.
No, it's not. But I'm just saying it came up in the conversation. Because the magical Negro doesn't necessarily always have to be magical, i.e. Green Mile, i.e.
Shining.
It's just the
trope is that they know something that the others don't.
The trope,
or they're in touch with the supernatural.
Not that it's part of it, but the original trope, at least from her opinion and other opinions that she's looked up in her research,
sure,
sounds very
learned on it. Yeah,
she sounds really good. I'm gonna send it to you.
Okay.
It was a film with Sidney Poitier and a white man
in the 90s.
No, she's saying the roots of that trope was this film with Sidney Poitier and this guy, where they were handcuffed to each other and they had.
Yeah. The Fugitives.
Something like that. So she's like, that's more. I mean, obviously it goes further back than that.
I don't know.
But in modern film, that's kind of like one of the tropes where like the black man or woman will do everything in their power to save this white person
Yeah,
who doesn't deserve it. You know what I'm saying? At all within the
I,
context of
I guess you could go far back in literature too, because you have Uncle Tom's Cabin,
absolutely.
you have Huck Finn.
I think she brought that up.
Um,
Yeah.
I mean, you can go very far
Very
back.
old trope.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a very old trope. It's not nothing new for sure.
I'm sure there was
But
something
film wise,
pirates.
she's like that's about as far back as it comes to far.
The '60s.
Think about it though. If you go further back in the 50s, 40s, there weren't lead actors that were black.
Well, could you go?
Most
I could go as far back as Gone with the Wind, because Hattie McDaniel.
I don't think that. I mean, I didn't watch that film. Did she do something to save
She's
somebody?
she's the
The mammy.
yes, but she's also intuitive in a
Yeah,
way that you know the whites are just thinking about the Civil War. She's thinking about the future and the families, and it feels more like the wise sage to me.
maybe. Yeah.
This way.
So, the film that I was referencing,
Stephen King in the '90s.
Stephen King. The movie was called. I might be wrong on the date. It's was it a show? Oh, I guess it was a show. Sorry, and this was in the not the 90s, 2020. The Stand.
Well, that's The Shining's prequel.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, it's the same character.
Universe? No shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, never that I missed that. So Whoopi Goldberg is
I think.
somebody who I don't think you're right.
Am I thinking of Doctor Sleep?
I think you are. Yeah, that you're talking about that one that had Ewan McGregor.
Yes. Is that Doctor Sleep?
Something like
My
that.
fault.
Yeah. The Stand. After the world is in ruins due to a man-made plague, a battle of biblical proportions ensues.
Right.
That's The Stand. So she's like a seer in the show.
This was on CBS.
Yeah.
I would never watch anything on CBS.
Right. So I'll send you that. It was pretty
Okay.
interesting.
I would be down to.
She had another one where she was talking about how Disney can't do black characters to save their fucking lives, animated film wise. So like she talked about Soul, she talked about Princess and the Frog, and she talked about another one that I'm forgetting.
Disney is the most racist.
Yeah,
It's
you know.
and I just never understood why people, like, even as a kid, like, I don't know, I just never
But
gravitated
here's the
towards it.
thing. I think I still to this day like Disney stuff. Their earlier stuff was very obviously what it was.
Yeah.
It was definitely of the time.
Right.
But I think they have had out of all of the studios, they have had
A 180.
the biggest 180 where it's like we're gonna go repeat. We're not even fucking around to even give you the inclination that this is some foul shit anymore. They're so super sensitive about it. It's kind of to their detriment for some of their projects, right? Because now you're going so left with the liberalism
Yeah.
that you're just completely taken away from the culture of these characters, and you're whitewashing characters by trying not to be culturally offensive about these characters.
Yeah.
You know,
I think
yeah, it's pretty bizarre.
I tend to think all political parties, whether you lean one way or the other way, it's a disease.
Yeah,
It doesn't, nobody can be central in their thought anymore. It's like, I have to be this or I have to be that. And there's no centrist Democrats. There's no centrist Republicans left. It's so weird. And when you're an independent, you're automatically labeled a weirdo.
kind of hard most of the time.
So weird. Like,
Pretty weird.
it's so weird to me.
Have you met a devout independent?
No, they just don't vote. They just don't vote. All right, that's
So check this out.
yeah.
While we were reviewing the movie, I did a little recast in my head just for the two main.
Okay, go ahead.
But instead of it being, because you can't really do that, right? Because it's such a specific film. Instead of it being word for word, line for line, like we usually would do. Uh, Mine is I would like to see, and it's funny that they came up in conversation about this earlier. I would love to see the Donald Glover version of this film. Donald Glover, and speaking about the like the Western
Go ahead.
American version of this mind spiral is basically what it was, right? So you just different historical context, different night. Instead of bringing up Martin Lennon, you're bringing up Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, right? You bring up different our type of ideologies that
Sure.
make over here in our within the context of Americanism. So yeah, I would like to see that version. Whoever, I don't know if it would just be him to only direct, but I could see a version where he would also star in it, and it's from the black viewpoint, um, co-starring. I don't know, or and this might be because I just saw this film. Have you seen American Fiction yet?
No, not yet. Don't tell me anything.
Not even an opinion.
Okay, give me your opinion.
Excellent.
I could see it. I could see it's going to be good.
Excellent, dude. Like,
Well, he's great.
But that's the thing is about Jeffrey Wright. So anyway, Jeffrey Wright. If I was to do this again,
Jeffrey Wright.
I would about Jeffrey Wright, Tracy Ellis Ross.
Okay.
I think that would, and it would be still a dark comedy, right? And I think that would be interesting as fuck.
I like that. Yeah. Who would you would
going through the South? This is just playing, mind vomit here. Going through the Green Book South.
I hated that movie, Don.
Well, the movie sucked, but the Green Book is a real thing.
I know it is. And I will tell you, I did.
Sorry, that brings me to the point I was about to say about Jeffrey Wright. Just because the actor is excellent doesn't mean the movie will be. Mahershala Ali is an excellent, phenomenal actor, and look what happened to him in that movie.
I think
so was his co-star. His co-star is a phenomenal actor.
Vigo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Viggo Mortensen.
Yeah, but that's what they ended up in.
Yeah. Yeah. Mahershala Ali, who did we talk about a couple weeks ago where you're like, oh, Giancarlo Esposito. Yeah. He can do things, but he takes the wrong roles. And I think that's going to be, Mahershala Ali's got to get out of it.
The Nas effect.
Yes, the Nas effect. Sure, the beats, yeah. Mahershala Ali, his True Detective wasn't as bad as the second season, but it was very bad. Green Book was very bad, in my opinion. And I don't think he was that great in it, to be quite honest with you. It was like it was paint by numbers, in my opinion.
It was like, hey, you want to see Dragon's Daisy again? But weird and wrong.
Right. I also, and I'm going to be in the minority on this. I thought the third part of Moonlight was the worst part of Moonlight. I thought the second part of Moonlight was the best part of Moonlight.
The third act was what it was.
It was stupid, Don. It was stupid.
I don't think it was stupid.
It didn't work. It felt forced.
That's something that I would love. I mean, it's not in our criteria.
I'm proposing we do one modern movie a month going forward.
A month?
Yeah, one a month.
I think that's because I mean
that's 25%.
But it's old ass movie reviews. So all right, so what's going to be the criteria then? You can still call it an old ass movie.
And I propose a new co-host. Bye. No.
Still saying the Jews.
But you keep paying. No. Yeah, maybe. Okay. What about once every 2 months?
Once a quarter.
It's only 3. What? Yeah. Right. Okay. Well, for the Oscar-nominated films of this year, we're not going to do anything, right?
We could do once every 2 months. I don't know. What do you mean? Do anything? What do you mean?
Like, are we going to review any of the Oscar-nominated stuff for this year at all?
Is that out already? I don't pay attention to
that. The nominations are coming, but I'm just saying I have an idea of what's going to be nominated. But like, Okay, we'll talk about that another
I
because
don't want to see Napoleon. I did at first. Now I really don't.
no, I do. I do.
I watch it.
I want to see how bad it is.
It's gonna be. Once I found out it was Ridley Scott, I was like, oh.
Well, also nobody's
I know
speaking.
it's gonna look cool as fuck. But I know it's gonna be drawn out.
Nobody's speaking French. Nobody like it's all. It's totally inaccurate.
Not even an inaccurate accent.
Nope. It's totally inaccurate
You know,
historically.
back in the day, used to have French, but it's all British actors.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like, why?
yeah. It's totally inaccurate historically too.
Yeah.
So, and there's like continuity issues with it. I want to see it.
Remember that time Napoleon had a meeting with Mahatma Gandhi? What?
Hey, Napoleon, you're getting a call on your iPhone over here. That's funny.
um, yeah. So that's my version of Weekend, starring. It's either gonna be directed by Childish Gambino, Donald Glover, starring Donald Glover, and fuck it, why not Zazie Beetz again? I like her. I think she's very interesting.
Okay.
And they have good chemistry. You still haven't seen goddamn Atlanta, have you?
No, Don.
Watch it, dude.
It's been
It's already done. It's finished.
it's been a week. It's been a week. You ask me every week. It's been a week.
No, I haven't fucking tell you.
Yes, you do every week, Don.
Whatever. Or directed by Donald Glover, starring, if you want to go an older version, Jeffrey Wright and Tracee Ellis Ross.
Okay.
That would be what I would.
So I didn't think about recasting this because it's like we said, it's hard to.
Also, did we recast Bicycle Thieves last week at all?
Yeah.
Who did I?
I don't remember.
Who did you say?
I don't remember.
John Luc Godard.
John Berenthal.
A Puerto Rican. Yeah, I think we did. I was thinking about it afterwards. I was like, John Luc Godard in a funnier version.
I said Willem Dafoe, and you didn't like that.
It's fucking weird. John Luc Godard. Oh, because I said I think we gave unserious answers because now I remember I said the cast of 29th Street.
Yeah, you did.
Do it again.
I want to see Danny Aiello yell, is what you said.
I want to see Danny Aiello pedal for 3 feet.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Yeah. So John Leguizamo, in some kid,
some broad,
Hispanic, and it would take place in Spanish Harlem.
That could work.
In the take place in Spanish or Queens, either one, in the 60s, because people still were putting up posters. I mean, people still do it now to this day, but it would be you could still have the bicycle theme in the 60s or 70s.
Mine would be the two Jews that tried to tunnel out of the Lubavitch, and it would take place in Williamsburg.
Fucking bizarre. That was Crown Heights, but
I know. Well, I told you about the Lubavitch Jews.
They said, "What's the problem? This is a quicker way. You know how expensive it is to get a tunnel dug around here? We did it ourselves." The cop was like, "You can't do that. You just can't do that."
No. All right, let's X the Lubavitch Jews. For
I wonder what Godot would say about.
Oh man, Godard, not Godot. That's Waiting for Godot.
Godard.
Though I did feel like there were some elements of Waiting for Godot in this film. Okay. Anyway, for the husband, I'm going with Woody Harrelson. I think Woody Harrelson could do this.
He definitely has that wheelhouse of political.
And he can be funny, and he's a great actor. And he's physical. He could do a lot. I feel like
that one, I didn't see it.
Triangle of Sadness.
I didn't watch it.
It's above average. It's okay. And for the wife, little harder.
We went from being proud of ourselves for getting the first part
2 hours.
To 2 hours.
2 hours.
Yeah.
For the wife,
Julia Roberts. All right.
No. I want somebody younger than Woody Harrelson. Well, Not like 10, Don. I'm gonna go with Margot Robbie.
Might as well be 10.
She's 30. She's 30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a huge age gap, like 30 years.
So?
Okay.
Picasso married a fucking 18-year-old who was like 93.
Not great.
No.
Not great.
No. You still like his work?
It's a ripoff of African art.
Yeah, I don't love Picasso.
I mean, I don't hate him.
I don't love him.
You know what I'm saying?
Who wasn't ripping off the Africans left and right? Come on, Don. We were ripping you out of Africa. I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm done for today. I got 4 hours of sleep.
Hey, like I said, at the end of the day,
Enjoy.
I enjoyed the fuck out of it.
Yeah. Watch it. Watch it.
This guy's dead, right? Godard?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can't tag him on Instagram?
I was tagging Godard like film pages to see if people would like subscribe to us. So subscribe to us.
You can tag him with a Ouija board.
Yeah. Yes. No.
G.
J.
Yeah.
J.
At. Do you think the Ouija boards, the Gen Z Ouija boards, have ats?
That's funny. That would be so cool. Is that?
I'm gonna write that in one of my scripts. Some Gen Z kids are trying to.
Well, don't tell people.
I'll sue you. Oh, you see this Jew? You see him on the camera? He's my lawyer. At least I know he knows what. Hello. Yeah, they're gonna try to contact a recently deceased kid who died from doing the TikTok, and they're gonna try to use a Ouija board, and they're gonna look for the @ symbol. Yeah, but nobody knows his real name. They only know his tag name.
Mookie.
Racist.
Yep.
All right. With that being said, I'm really gonna write this
Strawberry and Chocolate next week. Cuban gay film. Yes.
Just say Cuban love film. Cuban love is love film.
Cuban gay love film. Cuban love is love. Cuban. What's his name? Cuban Lin-Manuel Miranda film. I can't stand him anymore. It's all washy. You know, back in the day, when people knew he was a fake fuck. Back in the day.
I don't know anything about it personally, but I've heard quite a few.
He didn't help anybody do anything at all.
Does he owe anybody?
No. I don't mean now. I mean, that guy was all about himself for a very, very, very long time. And it's in theater, at least, it's not the way to do things. It's just not.
I believe it.
I mean, the guy never had an organic moment in his fucking life. Though I will say, In the Heights was really good.
I never went to see it. That came out when we were in high school.
Yeah. And I saw...
He had a play... How old is he then? He's not that much older.
He's 39, 40?
Is that a joke?
No, I think he's 40. In the Heights came out in 2008.
So he had a play when he was would basically be
22.
College.
Lin-Manuel Miranda is 43. Sorry. So he was like 24.
That makes more sense.
But it's still a crazy.
Crazy young, yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, and then Hamilton, of course. I didn't see Hamilton, but Hamilton swept the. But I really liked In the Heights. I just feel like I wouldn't like Hamilton. I don't know why. It's corny as fuck.
Fucking dumb. I don't give a fuck about these dead white people.
And I don't care that you recast them as alive Africans and Puerto Ricans. Doesn't do anything for me.
What the fuck? That's not subversive.
No, it's just stupid. See this movie.
Let's try to circle back and not leave on a negative note. On a positive note, I went to go see a play the other day at the Puerto Rican Traveling Theater. Have you been there?
I have not. I know of it. I have not.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yes.
A coworker of mine put me onto it. It was based on a writer from the 50s named Jesus Leon Colon. He was a political writer. He was a communist, I believe. This was another one. This actually was a play where I didn't have too much knowledge on the forefront.
Yeah.
I went there just not knowing the history too much. So a lot of things went over my head. For the most part, I got like 80% of that. Much better than I did with this film. That's for sure. But like the the political stuff and the things of that time
Yeah.
concerning characters specifically, I was just like, oh.
Yeah, that area of the world at that time is not my strong suit either. So I would probably be even less than I understood of this film.
The wild part is I had bought the tickets, right? Because and I watched that before we went to go see American Fiction. So
Right.
I had a really really nice day on Sunday last week.
Right.
It was a dope day of arts. But I bought the tickets, and me and
I
the
said,
missus.
wait a minute, this is not Cedric the Entertainer.
Wait a minute.
I wanted to see him steal a joke.
This is I read a review, and a woman said, "I am so happy about this play and so excited. Finally, a play that my grandfather, who speaks Spanish, can understand." I said, "Uh oh, is this play in fucking Spanish? Oh no!" I got there, and my Spanish is not so good looking. People, it's not so good looking. And I got there, and thank goodness they had monitors on the either side of the stage. Very small stage, very very small stage.
Call that a black box.
Sure, feels racist.
It's what it's called, Don. It's a black box theater.
I didn't have a second floor with a balcony.
Oh, it's got a second floor?
Yeah,
How many seats?
I want to say the first floor no more than 40 something.
And the second?
50. Then the second, I didn't go up there, but it was right above, so I would imagine somewhere around there, 20s maybe.
Yeah, it's a black box theater. Anything under 200 seats.
Yeah, it's under like a block and some change.
Yeah,
But
that's a black box theater.
it was a good show. Good show.
Yeah.
It was both in English and in Spanish.
How much? How much for tickets?
I think 30 something I paid.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
No, the better seats were like 40 something. You know, it was
Squint. Squint.
There was no need to squint. I was literally in the last row in the back because I didn't want to pick. Because I was looking at the pictures on Google. I was like, this didn't seem
Now the real question is, how many paydays did you sneak under your shirt?
I can't eat paydays. They're peanuts, and that would murder my wife. She's allergic to peanuts.
Oh! I see. But that's not murdering her.
What murder? It was good stuff. I enjoyed it. It was inspirational. As somebody who's a burgeoning writer, as myself, and burgeoning playwright, that was a good fucking day.
Yeah.
Of taking in some art. I enjoyed the fuck out of it. It was a lot of older Puerto Rican aunties, and some Puerto Rican uncles wearing their "I go to theater" berets. It was so many old men in berets. So cool. I was like, I need a fucking beret and a cashmere vest, pullover vest.
What did you wear?
I wore a sweatshirt that had a photograph of myself in my mask. I make Puerto Rican carnival masks, so I assume Puerto Ricans would be intrigued. Nobody cared about me. I wore regular shit. I wore a nice little flat cap, mudcloth flat cap that I wear.
I think people that don't get dressed up for theater are the worst human beings on this planet Earth.
I got dressed up.
No. I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you.
I don't go like sweatpants. Yeah.
Like when I don't care what it is. I don't care what the show is. I saw The Lion King a couple years ago because somebody I wanted to see it, and I wore dress pants, dress shoes, and a dress shirt. Okay, because that's the respect that you should have for the theater. And I walked in that fucking place, and Okies from Muskogee are wearing fucking flip flops and shorts, and it's just like, man,
But it's not like it used to be, dude. You know that.
Yeah, but you're paying $200 a ticket. I mean, I didn't because I'm smart and I know where to get tickets. But you're paying $200 a ticket. Act like you've been somewhere before.
Yeah, very true. I don't argue that. It is very true. Because I would appreciate if people put in the same effort for myself.
Right. Even if you're gonna wear, okay, you wear a t-shirt, put a fucking blazer over it. That's all.
Or cardigan.
Or a cardigan.
And to make it look like you did.
You're gonna wear jeans, wear Chelsea boots or something like that. Yeah.
I never wore Chelsea boots in my life.
They hurt.
They look like not great.
I got a pair of Billy Reed mustard yellow ones. Oh my God, they're so good. They're so good. All right, that's enough. That's enough of Mildred and Gertrude at the automat.
See, this is. Let me show you my outfit. That was pretty cool. I think I look pretty snazzy. I did all right.
Yeah, that's dressed up. That's a person that's dressed up.
Yeah.
That's fine. But you see these idiots, fucking annoying. All right, next week.
This is firsthand. Nope.
Oh, you fuckhead.
We'll fix it in post.
You are such a fuckhead. You keep doing that.
I keep bringing up my ex.
We'll fix it in post. Firsthand movie reviews, bids itself, old ass bids. Yeah. All right.
Fix it in post, old ass movie reviews. We'll see you next week with fresas y chocolate.
Yeah, for those people that don't know what that is, it's strawberry and chocolate. And the buttholes.
You had to ruin it. Now we gotta do another extra 20 just to
another 2 hours. Bye.